Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Coach Christy. I hope y'all ready for tonight. So let me just go ahead and apologize. We're not live, it is pre recorded. There was a shift and a change, but one thing all of my coaches would always say just keep showing up. So I'm going to drop this video that my husband and I did. Put your comments. Don't forget to like, tag, and share. And as we get into this, so for those who do not know who I am Coach Christy McKinney-Evans. I am the CEO and founder of M5Women Ministries. I hold multiple titles, but I want you all to definitely go over to my website so that you are able to pull up the things that I have done, what I do, what I'm doing. We are launching M5Women Ministries on a larger scale with all of my resources and services that will be available. We are launching and all doors will open. To give you a sneak peek, on June 20th. That's when summer starts, right? That's when summer starts. So I'm going to hold my conversation because I want you all to know that this live that you were pre-recorded that you're about to watch is some questions that my husband actually gave me. I asked his input. As you all know, that M5Women Ministries is ministry, marriage, motherhood, mentoring, management, marketplace, and mindset. And if you have followed me for any period of time, you know that my goal, my heart is to encourage women in all of those areas, but to make sure that our relationship with the Father is number one. So we're going to get into it, right? Let's get into it and enjoy. With my special guest, my husband.
Hello, everyone.
And we are coming before you today. As you all know, we are going big with M5Women Ministries, and we are making sure that we let you know all of the services and products that will be available for you in the community because it's time. It's time. So we're talking, last week we talked about ministry. Today we're going to talk about marriage, and we're actually going to bring it in together and talk about ministry and marriage. So my husband, who is also a pastor, well, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. I couldn't find my mic, so that's because I don't have time. And so, just for all of you who thought this was going to be live, schedules change, and I am still going to show up. So this is a pre-recorded, and we're not going to share our bloops. But I'm passing the mic. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Pastor Vernon Earl Evans. I am the husband of this beautiful woman right here of 9 years. Come 2 days from now,
Yeah.
2 days on Wednesday. And it has been a pleasure, an honor, a dream come true, all that good stuff. So I don't know what else more she want me to say. I'm the youngest of 6 children. We have grandchildren, we have children, so I just fit in where I can fit in. Amen. Let's just say that.
All right, so that's funny. Okay, that's funny.
She got all this house. I got a closet. What can I say?
All right, so here we go. So we have a few questions that I will ask
Mhm.
hubby, and it's really just to show you all that marriage, first of all, marriage is work. Let me tell you, it's past the 8 hours, it's past the 12 hours, it's past the 24 hours, it's past all of that because in order for you to make it in this life, and because we both, this is not our first marriage, this is you learn. No, we don't condone divorce, but in certain circumstances and situations that does happen. But just know that for those who feel like on the women, I'm speak on the ladies side. For those who feel like marriage is not, that there's no hope to be married even after divorce, we are a perfect example. But at the end of the day, make sure you have a relationship with the Father and that you get godly counsel and that you have a support team. We have a strong system of those who pray for us, pray with us, and are always, and they are seasoned saints, let me tell you. There are seasoned saints who stand with us and have been standing with us since the very beginning. I do encourage you all that for those who are designed to be married, if you are dating, that you um, get counseling, because marriage counseling, because again, your foundation has to be Christ. So I'm not going to show where my notes are coming from because this had to happen real fast because he has a schedule.
But let me
And
also say this: you made the statement that marriage works,
marriage
and
is, I said marriage is work.
yeah, but marriage works, and marriage is a lot of work.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
let me emphasize why I say that, because you have two different entities coming together as one. Okay,
Yeah.
and you're not going to always see eye to eye, so we're not going to present it like it's always roses. We walking through the Garden of Eden. No, we have our ups and downs just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I have my attitudes and she have hers, and then at at the end of it, hey, she ain't going nowhere, I'm not either. Okay, but it is work every day, every day,
Every
because
day.
you don't get up feeling the same way every day. She don't, I don't. You know, and sometimes, like the old goats, the head clashes, but still the love is there. We don't allow it to get out of hand to whereas I'm packing or she packing and we out the door and we calling it quits. No, we have established before we got married. If you're in, you're in. Other than that, don't waste each other time. So yes, marriage works, but it is work,
I gotta
and
tweet
it's
that one
on
out.
both parts. Yes.
All right. So the first question, and I didn't have time to change
Mm-hmm.
or edit, so we just gonna dive in.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the first question, you're gonna ask me, and I'm gonna ask you, and
However
then
way you want to
okay. So
do
I'm
it.
gonna ask him. These are actually all questions because I
Mm-hmm.
asked him due to timing, and he says, "What made you want to get married?" That was the question he asked me.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies first. What made me want to get married? Well, I can say that after my divorce, I decided that I needed to stay at the altar because I didn't want to be I didn't want to sin. I'm just gonna be like I told you all, and if you follow me on social media, you know that during uh, the M5 Women Ministries marketplace community that will go live on June 20th. There will be products and services, and there will be raw conversations that we will have, but it will be inside of the community. So I just wanted us to share just a tidbit of just questions that we just kind of jotted down at lunch, and it's what made you want to get married? And I knew, again, as I said before, that I didn't want to sin. I didn't want to live out here any kind of way. And so I stayed at the altar. I committed myself um, to serving in ministry, to keep myself because I had fear of God and I was afraid. But and I knew God did not create me to be single. That was the ultimate thing. I didn't, and if I had thought about it, I would have got because I still have my vision board,
Oh.
the
Mm-hmm.
vision board that I created
Mm-hmm.
before we even started dating. I have my vision board where I had from my gown to the man of God that I wanted, a man of God that was going to love me as Christ loves the church. And again, as Pastor said before, there is no every day is not a walk in the park.
No.
Every day is not a walk in the park. So your turn. So what made you want to get married?
What made me want to get married is the fact that one, I did not want to be alone. Period. I did not want to be alone. Number two, I wasn't raised to shack. That wasn't a part of the equation. My parents didn't raise us like that. And again, I'm the youngest of six. Yeah, when I got out on my own, I was grown. I could have did whatever I wanted to do. But some things you have to have a conscience with. And you do better when you know better. So I didn't want to do that. The next thing that made me want to get married is because of the fact that I fell in love with this woman right here, and I did not want her to get away. We've been knowing each other ever since our childhood. Okay, my dad used to be her pastor when we was younger, and the Lord saw fit for us to, out of what, 30, 35 years, I think it was, we had the opportunity to see each other. It wasn't on a happy occasion. My sister had made her transition, and she came into town to be at my sister's homegoing. And being there, we reconnected and found out that, hey, you've been married, you're not no more. Okay. So as you can see, things ended up the way that they are. But let me put this out there. We didn't live together before we got married.
I think too on that part is we live the wiser you get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say older, but the wiser you get,
Mm-hmm.
the and this here broadcast and tidbit of what we're sharing, we're just talking about our journey.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone does what they do when they want and
Mm-hmm.
how God leads and guides them. So no condemnation on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew, first of all, ladies, I knew what I was going to do and what I was not going to do. I knew who was number one. And did we make other choices back in our past when we were younger? Yeah, because we all do.
Mm-hmm.
So, not saying that we didn't do anything that um, in this season in this marriage we didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What keeps me more? What keeps me? I'm gonna let you answer this one first. I haven't got. What keeps me? What keeps you motivated in the marriage after 9 years?
The excitement that is in our marriage, and I'm gonna leave it a period right there. Okay. I look forward every day to coming home from work. She have made our house a home. There's a difference. Some people, they just go into the house, but I come home, and to be able to come home to her is a joy to me. To be able to do things together and with her, as husband and wife, as family. It is, man. Then, because of the love that we have for each other, it just constantly grows and grows. And this is not a script. I mean, this is not a manuscript or anything. I'm speaking from right here. So the the excitement that we have, what keeps the excitement in the marriage, is her craziness and my craziness. We laugh at each other, we laugh with each other, so yeah, it's all that and some.
All right. So okay. So let me ask me. So what keeps me, Christy, motivated in the marriage after 9 years? So having, first of all, I can definitely say having someone who loves me, who cares, who supports. Because if you all see see me on social media, you know that he is going to make. If I say, "Oh, I want to go take this picture over here on top of this statue," he is going to be like, really, babe? Like, so what is it for? I'll be like, I don't know. I'll use it later. And from the stuff, but what keeps me motivated is again the support that he gives, the relationship he has with all of our children because we are a blended family, and the And I think too, in this last um 4 months, 3 months, yeah, 3 months, that you his question was, the girls just got married,
Mhm.
and there's some more grandbabies that are coming. Now we already have grandchildren, but when he said that, and he says, I think we need to move. And we literally
Did a faith move.
did a faith big jump leap
Hmm.
to be closer to our children, because the first part of our marriage, well, the first 8 years of our marriage,
Hmm.
we were near
My
with
side of the
his side of the
family. Yeah.
family, and now we're adjusting
Hmm.
to our. And I was thinking earlier that last year when we walked upon the 8 years of being married, 8 is the number of new beginning,
Hmm.
and within that new beginning, everything shifted in 90 days for us. And he doesn't say that it's a new
I don't say it's a new chapter. I say we are in a new book
in a
now.
new book. That's what he says.
Yeah,
So
it's
he's
not a continuance. So we finished that book. It's closed. So in our book club, we are now in a new book. We are writing a new book.
yeah.
Okay, new book, new chapter, starting with page 1.
So there's so much
Yeah.
that has taken place,
Hmm.
but the motivation part is now that we have the opportunity to not just do ministry, but do ministry together. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. All right, so this is the last question on marriage.
Hmm.
Uh, are you just as happy now as you were in the beginning?
No, I am not just as happy now as I was in the beginning. I'm happier than I was in the beginning. Yeah, in the beginning, it was exciting, it was new, it was fresh, but to be able to grow with each other and to be able to do not just only as she stated, marriage, but the ministry, the family life, to be able to do all of that is has brought even more excitement. The church has brought us even closer. So that's exciting, So I'm not at the same level that I was when we got married. No, the level has gone up. So I'm even more happier in our marriage than I was 9 years ago.
10.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, marriage now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, Christy, are you just as happy now as you were in the beginning? And I can agree
Mm-hmm.
that, because, and let me say this, ladies, after the honeymoon, there are so many things that you have to learn, because it may happen in your premarital counseling, but you got to figure out, like, does he like this soap, or I like that soap? Remember we had a thing because he came home with the wrong toilet tissue.
I'm like, it's
So
just
again,
toilet
because
paper.
again, it's just toilet paper to him. It's just soap to him. And even if he has his soap and I have mine. And then sometimes when in seasons, in the past where financials were not looking its best, then we had to come to a mutual, and he would always gravitate to what best is comfortable for me. And then it was this certain soap that he used to use, and although I didn't use it, it was his. Let me tell y'all. I said, babe, I can't do it. I can't do it. He told me but it's on my body. I can't do it. And you know what he did? He changed his soap. And so the thing of how happy you are, you have to learn so many different things about one another after you're married.
No
And
matter how little it is.
yes, and we're still
Yeah.
learning.
Mm-hmm.
I believe just about every day we learn something different about
Mm-hmm.
one another.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the main things, and this is going to be the last question, is how do we put ministry and marriage together?
Be honest with you, we didn't. God did. Because when we were in the beginning stage, she used to always say, "Babe,
I see God.
we're gonna tag team."
And we were laughing about that today because he was trying to remember what that word was. And ladies, y'all know sometimes that we can tell our husbands what thus said the Lord, and they will in turn be like, "You don't know what you're talking about because that ain't God. You always think you what's the thing you say? You're like you're the only one that hear God."
No, you act like
I
God
was
only talks to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So go ahead. Now you can finish and
Uh
tell because
huh.
I want to tell that part. Go ahead, baby.
We we tag team.
That's all you gonna say?
That's all I'm gonna say.
So let me tell the part. So we were oh my gosh. We were in Chicago and he was ministering. And I'm sitting there and I was like, "Yep, we're going to do this together." And out of tradition, he being married before, he had never had a woman by his side that was also in ministry. So that was such a not just it just rocked his world. And it took God to because I couldn't be bitter. I couldn't think that I was less of who God called me to be. And in that we God did it. God literally did it because 2 years after that is when God gave you the name of sound doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember we were sitting in the
In the
boardroom
yeah.
and we were doing the paperwork, and the pastor asked, "So it's just your name on here?" Because I was already, look, I was doing M5, I was doing my thing, I was speaking at other places because I was like, "God, you got to do this because I can't." And I'm not because now I don't, because I didn't want to get in my feelings and then just be like, "Lord, I know you called me." I did not allow that to stop, and neither did he. He did allow that to stop me from going and speaking in different places, but God had to do it. So we're in this meeting, and the leaders spoke and said, "Well, God forbid if something happens to you, who's going to take over the church?" And he was like, "What you mean?" Like, according to documents and paperwork, if you don't have your wife in position, then it will go to the deacons or the secretary and things like that. And that was the day that it shifted. Not just in that moment, but we had times where it caused us to not just do ministry. Well, then that's when the church.
Mhm.
Then after when the church did what it was doing, and God just opened up doors, and every minister that spoke during the grand opening,
Mm-hmm.
they
The launch.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the launch of Sound Doctrine Christian Church, they began to share that we had to be in oneness. And so we wanted to come on just to share how ministry and marriage, how we balance, and how it requires, you said, marriage is work and marriage requires work.
Mm-hmm.
And marriage is a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how you see it, one thing we did is if you know me and you follow me, you know that I'm a pray and I'm going to write a confession and I am going to have a confession that's going to um, be in alignment for what we're believing God for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, ladies, wives, one thing I can say, this will be my last nugget to share with you, that take it to the Lord, allow Him to be your number one, and all things will work together. Have a strong support system because it's necessary.
It's been an honor, a pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to share with you, share with the women's ministry, my views and thoughts. And I hope we have been a blessing to you all. And we look forward to doing this again or doing more because, like she stated, there's going to be times where it's going to be, as she put it, using her words, raw It's not going to be so polished or whatever, and we'll be free to talk. And hopefully, we can have it set up where you can
Oh
type
yeah,
in your questions or
I'll
however
do
way
it.
she's going to
I
do it.
will. My thoughts are definitely with marriage, because we have to have stronger marriages in
Mm-hmm.
order for us to be out here in this world,
Mm-hmm.
to be an example. And you want to have, people in your circle that have been married for 40, 50 years, and then those that are coming up behind us, because
Mm-hmm.
we have children that are married, and we don't want it to always look like, oh, it's always this way. No.
Mm-hmm.
Even in ministry, it's not always that way. Even in motherhood, it's not always that way. But there are multiple sides. But our number one goal and the foundation of it all is having a relationship with the Father, because his relationship with him is not my relationship. But when we come together, we know who has it all, and that is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I am Coach Kristen McKinney-Evans, and I want to say thank you all for joining us on this pre-recorded, because for those that are coming in, thank you for watching the replay. But Pastor Hubby had to go to work, and so I wanted to make sure that I still kept my word so that you all will still get the message of adding the value the, of what I will be adding to M5 Women Ministries community, because we got to keep doing this, because it's kingdom. It's what God desires for us to be happy, loving one another as Christ loves the church, and having a support system where even if you don't know where to go, that there will be a safe place, but it has to be trusted through relationships. So again, thank you all, and I can't wait to see the comments.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. There you have it. Hubby did amazing. I am so excited and so proud of him. As you all can see, it is a pre recorded. Not just his schedule changed, but my schedule changed as well. But you still have the interview, you still have the information. I encourage you all to like, tag, and share. Thanks again so much for joining. Go over and visit my website at KristenMcKinneyEvans.com. You will also see the link so that you can register for, and you will be notified when the grand opening of the community of M5 Women Ministries Marketplace. And I'll be able to explain more about that, what that marketplace means. Because again, when we change and when we build and our marriages are stronger, that means we are leaving a legacy to our children and our children's children's children. So good night, and I'll check the comments later. Have a good one. And I'll see you next Tuesday. We will talk about motherhood. So I can't wait to share with you who's going to be on to talk. Have a good one. Bye.